Okay, here it is, the 18 versus Karate Kid movie. I gotta make this fast because I want to make sure I get all this time in. I'm gonna start off with the worst, which was the Karate Kid. Easily top three worst movies of 2010 so far. And if you are under 10, this movie is for you. If you're over 10, don't get tricked into seeing it. First of all, it's 2.5 hours. How could you find 2.5 hours in the Karate Kid script to even extend it? I don't know how they did it, but they did it. This movie was so atrocious. And what's his name? Jaden Smith? You could tell him that you don't have to cry in order to be a good actor. He's crying every 10 seconds and then they make you wait. This movie needed an editor really bad. It was really bad and unnecessary because The Karate Kid is the type of movie that transcends through decades. It's like a Christmas story. You don't need to make a remake to it. And then if you're gonna make a remake, add something, put your own stamp to it. Don't. The only difference in this movie is that they was in China, which really made no sense because the Cobra Kai's with Johnny and all those guys in America, that makes sense to lose your discipline and go out. Honor is everything over there in China. You're not gonna have a big school like that dishonor themselves in a tournament like that. That's ridiculous. They'll be banished, from restaurants. They couldn't even hold their face up. The shame. The honor means everything over there. Honor is just some word they use in class in America. So it was just really was choppy. It was really just dumb. The only good part about it was when they went up the wall of China to drink the water or whatever. Seeing that they should have did the training there. The training was forever. That's where they could have did a lot of their cuts. I saw more training than fighting in this movie. It was just, it was just slopped together. And Jackie Chan was the best actor in the entire movie, so you knew you were getting ready to strap on your seatbelt because it was going to be a long, bumpy ride. Now, is it up there with my top two worst movies of 2010, which is Nightmare on Elm Street and that movie with Jennifer Aniston and Gerald Butler? That movie they did together, what's that, Bounty Collector or whatever? Oh, Bounty Hunter, that was the worst movie ever. But the A-Team, luckily saved the day. That's what you should have been focusing on. If you spending your money on anything, you should see that. At least it had character development and everybody had a little personal disorder, a little something going wrong with them. That was pretty interesting with each character. So the action scenes were a little bit like the TV show where they all had to create something out of nothing to make it work, scientism with physics, even though some of them was a little over the top. And everybody pretty much who wasn't the A-Team was a bad guy in this movie, or just was no good. Period. But other than that, it's entertaining. And after seeing the Karate Kid, you need to see something like that. See, I went in reverse. I saw the A-Team first, then saw the Karate Kid, and I almost cried and begged that they let me out that theater. But you was strapped in for the 2.5 hour ride. So save your money and don't go see that movie. Please don't. But I still think the champ though, the worst movie, it's got to be that Bounty movie with Jennifer Aniston and Gerald Butler. That's got to be tops. And then Nightmare on Elm Street was just the most brutal. I mean, they had a lizard in there. It's Freddy Krueger. I mean, I'm not gonna go into that. All right, peace about.